For dangerous frozen foods you should never touch, and for you must eat daily. If you over 60, what if everything you've been told about frozen foods after 60 is a carefully orchestrated lie? The food industry doesn't want you to discover what happens when aging bodies encounter certain frozen products. 99% of seniors have no idea their freezer is aging them from the inside out, and it is happening every single day. One wrong frozen choice can spike your blood pressure by 40% within hours. Another can slash your muscle strength by 28% in just 3 months. And the number one frozen food in this list could raise your risk of heart failure by over 30%. This isn't random. The big food industry engineered it this way. They pumped their frozen convenience meals with industrial fats, sodium traps, and hidden sugars. Not to nourish you, but to keep you hooked. You're told it's balanced. You're told it's heart healthy. The reality, it's driving inflammation through your arteries. It's making your ankles swell, your memory fog, your energy crash. And every time you think you're choosing the healthy frozen option, you might be choosing the most dangerous one. In this video, we reveal for frozen foods you should never touch, and for you must eat daily to fight back. And when you hear number 2, you'll never look at your freezer the same way again. Before we begin, 2 quick questions. First, what frozen foods do you currently have in your freezer? Second, have you noticed any digestive changes since turning 60? We're reading and replying to each and every comment with personalized tips and advice. Now, let us open that freezer door and start with number 4, because this one could be hurting you before breakfast is even over. Number 4, food no. For frozen breakfast pastries. If you are over 60, your morning is the engine that sets the tone for your entire day. But biting into a frozen breakfast pastry, the kind that is filled with fruit jam or creamy centers, is like pouring sugar-thick sludge into that engine before you even start moving. These pastries are built for shelf life, not for human health. They are often made with hydrogenated oils, which are oils that have been chemically altered to stay solid even at room temperature. Once inside your body, these fats harden cell membranes, which makes it harder for nutrients to enter and toxins to leave. The result is slower cell repair, lower energy, and a constant feeling of sluggishness. The sugar content is another hidden blow. Many brands load more than 20 grams of sugar into a single pastry, which is more than the daily safe limit for some seniors. This sugar spikes your blood glucose, which is the measure of sugar in your bloodstream, and forces your pancreas to release a flood of insulin. Over time, these repeated spikes make your cells resistant to insulin, which is a condition that leaves you tired after meals and at risk for type 2 diabetes. The freezing process does not protect you from this damage. In fact, it locks the sugar and fat structure into a stable form, which means your body digests it quickly and gets hit with the full impact all at once. This leads to swelling in your joints, morning stiffness, and even mild headaches before noon, which are all signals that your body is fighting inflammation. Study found that diets high in processed breakfast pastries increased inflammatory markers in the blood by 27% in adults over 55. That is nearly 1/3 higher than those who avoided them, which means your immune system is working overtime for the wrong reasons. There is a better way to start your morning. If you need something from the freezer, look for whole grain waffles with no added sugar, which are rich in fiber that slows sugar absorption and keeps your energy steady. But those frosted pastries, they belong in the trash, not on your breakfast food, no. 3 plate. Now, number 3, frozen meat pies. A meat pie sounds comforting. Warm, savory filling wrapped in a flaky crust. It reminds many of childhood or home-cooked meals, but the frozen version is far from the real thing your grandmother made. The crust is where the first danger hides. It is usually made with shortening or margarine that is loaded with trans fats, which are fats that are proven to raise bad cholesterol, LDL, and lower good cholesterol, HDL. For seniors, this is a dangerous combination because it speeds up plaque buildup inside arteries, which is a major risk for heart disease. The filling often contains low-quality cuts of meat, which are meat parts ground together with connective tissue and fat. These meats are preserved with sodium nitrite, which is a chemical that prevents spoilage, but has been linked to increased cancer risk when consumed regularly. For someone over 60, your body is less efficient at detoxifying these chemicals, which means they stay in your system longer, damaging cells. Then there is the sodium. A single frozen meat pie can have over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which is nearly half of the daily safe limit for older adults. Excess sodium pulls water into your blood vessels, which raises blood pressure and puts extra strain on your kidneys. This is why some seniors notice swollen fingers or tight rings after a salty meal. It is fluid retention caused by sodium overload. Heating a frozen meat pie also changes its fat structure. As the crust bakes, the fats oxidize, which is a process that makes them more inflammatory. This can trigger flare-ups of gout, arthritis, and even cause fatigue the next day. A 2019 clinical trial showed that adults who replaced just 3 frozen meat-based meals a week with fresh, unprocessed protein had a 22% drop in CRP levels, which is a key marker of inflammation. That means your joints hurt less, your mind feels clearer, and your energy stays steady. Frozen meat pies might look harmless in their little foil tins, but for seniors, they are like a slow-burning fire inside food to the body. Number 2. Frozen breaded fish fillets. Fish is supposed to be one of the healthiest proteins you can eat after 60. It is light, packed with omega-3 fats, and easy to digest. But once that fish is coated in breadcrumbs, deep-fried in industrial oil, frozen and boxed, it turns into something that your body treats like a slow-acting toxin. The breading is often made from refined white flour, which is flour that has been stripped of fiber, minerals, and vitamins. This type of flour breaks down fast in your stomach, which causes blood sugar to spike in the same way as candy. For seniors, these spikes and crashes leave you feeling shaky, dizzy, or craving more carbs within hours. Then there is the frying oil. Most frozen fish fillets are cooked in soybean or canola oil that is heated to extreme temperatures. When these oils are reused in industrial fryers, they form compounds called aldehydes, which are chemicals that damage cells and inflame blood vessels. For someone over 60, this inflammation can make arthritis flare, make your ankles swell, or even make your blood pressure harder to control. The freezing process locks in not only the fish, but also these damaged oils. Every time you heat them back up in your oven or air fryer, those same aldehydes are reactivated, which means you are breathing them in as vapors and eating them with every bite. A study in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that people over 55 who consumed fried breaded frozen fish twice a week had a 15% higher rate of arterial stiffness compared to those who ate fresh unbraided fish. Arterial stiffness is when your blood vessels lose flexibility, which raises your risk of heart attacks and strokes. The saddest part is that many seniors choose these frozen fish fillets thinking they are making a heart-healthy choice. Bake food hides behind the word fish while serving a product that works against your heart. If you love fish, buy plain frozen fillets with no breading, which you can season and bake yourself. That keeps the omega-3 benefits without the food. 1. Inflammation. Number 1. Frozen microwave dinners with creamy sauces. This is the king of hidden danger in the freezer aisle. It is sold as complete, balanced, or chef-inspired. But for seniors, it is a packaged storm of everything your body does not need, and nothing it truly craves. The creamy sauce is the first trap. It is made with a blend of cheap vegetable oils, powdered cream, and stabilizers that are designed to survive months in freezing temperatures. Once they enter your body, these fats clog the spaces between your cells, which makes it harder for oxygen to pass through. That is why you might feel heavy, slow, and out of breath after a frozen creamy dinner. The pasta or rice base is another blow. These are usually pre-cooked and flash frozen, which causes the starch to become what scientists call high glycemic. That means your body digests it almost instantly, flooding your blood with glucose. For seniors, this sugar surge can trigger fatigue, blurry vision, or even a sudden afternoon nap you did not plan. Then there is the sodium load, often over 1,200 milligrams in one tray. Sodium in this amount pulls extra fluid into your bloodstream, which raises your blood pressure and strains your heart. If you have ever felt your shoes tighter in the evening or noticed swelling in your calves after one of these dinners, that is your body telling you it is struggling to push that extra fluid out.